So I was originally just planning on making this video being 80% silent with 20% commentary on what I'm doing in the video occasionally because I like to be helpful like that. But I got extra things to say and I have a need to yap into the sun, discussing my concept, lore changes, some personal opinions on VTubing as a whole, and the purpose of making this updated version of my VTuber, and I'll be continuing this for the next few parts, like the coloring and the rigging. So why am I making a new VTube model? I have quite a few reasons for this, but I do want to start by saying that I love my original model. I adore her. To me, she is beautiful, and I'm so proud of her. But stating the obvious, I never used her, and I just couldn't. I didn't have the PC I have now, and on top of that, there were a lot of things in the rigging that I just didn't like. Um, as a first attempt at illustrating and rigging, I think she isn't that bad, but now that I know more and want to do more, I wanted an update. I tried making other models for me to eventually sell, but at the time I was over ambitious and caused my own burnout. I know, very stupid. Luckily nobody paid for those models, so I didn't feel bad for temporarily abandoning those projects. I do actually want to get back to them, give them a nice glow up, but I'm going to put me first for the time. Me as in my own VTube model and all things surrounding her. So after doing that, I want to do some fun stuff on my own. I want to make more drawings of her. Something I've kept myself from doing by only telling myself only work on something you can eventually profit off of, which is something I believe all us artists struggle with. Heck, I have the urge to draw horses again, which I've said it once and I'll say it again. Drawing horses is the best way to teach yourself to not fear drawing anything. If I can draw a horse from memory, I can draw anything. At least with a reference, I'm not that crazy. So right now you are watching me do the entire body, and this is just so that I can maybe add more outfits. It's also good practice for, you know, making a full body and trying out something new. I'd never done feet before. Never done them, and there they are, right there. You don't know how hard it was to find feet on Pinterest, like a good reference, because they think, oh, it's a fetish. I'm like, no, I'm just looking it up so that I can have a good reference. Do you hear my voice? It's leaving me because I'm doing a voiceover now, going back because I did all my script. Now I'm just complaining. Oh, and the hands that I can do hands. The hands are pretty nice. I like these hands a lot. I wasn't planning on doing both hands on the hips because the other toggle that I have is me holding a cup, a pop, and I think I have another arm toggle, don't I? Yeah, I have. I hold a controller as well, cause you know those are cute. But I didn't want to like get a preset because the presets kind of look a little lame. Another reason I'm making this new model is because I've started seeing things differently. For one, her lore, I'm giving it a change to better show all sides of who I am and not just restricting it to some seemingly ditzy kaiju alien, which is kind of the vibe she unintentionally gave off. Oops. But we'll get into the lore changes later. And two, that I don't want to do what other VTubers are standardized to do. Not like I'm trying to be like other girls, but in the way that VTubers seem to be forced to be artificial. And I'm realizing this quickly when I started doing the exact same things as other VTubers were doing. I had a debut made and everything, and then I immediately got grossed out. It took me a while to figure out why, because I wasn't being my authentic self, and that's a problem. That is something that irks me to death. I hate when I catch myself trying to do or be something I'm literally not. I'm not going to change myself for others. That's dumb. Some things I don't like about the VTuber scene is the playing pretend / role playing. I mean, obviously, it asks me to be different than myself, so I'm not really like a fan of that, unless it's like acting for the sake of acting, which is an exception, of course. I actually think I'm not that bad at that. One of the problems I experienced when making my first model was the hair. Not like making it, the illustration part, the rigging part. That was the biggest part about it because, you know, I'm really just wearing a plug suit. It's not that big of a deal. The biggest part of my model is the hair and the tail and I guess the eyes maybe, and that's about it. So I was really like keeping in mind those memories, those nightmares that I had with my hair in my previous model while making this. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to go too crazy with the layers because that was just a mess. And I don't suggest going too crazy with the layers on hair for anybody's model unless, you know, you pay somebody else to deal with that stuff. So those little tiny poofs, like in the middle of those, the side strands, in the original model, it was just, it was 3 different parts. In this one, just gonna be 1. I don't care. I'm so tired of it. And then there's, the hair poofs. Those were basically the same. I just kind of sort of made them a little bit different in the line art part. And then actually there is no then. I like that's it. I like how these turned out. I have no issue with them right now. I'm worried about the rigging process. That's all I'm worried about. That's all I'm going to be worried about the entire time. I think it looks nice and I made sure to name them so that I don't get them mixed up. Highly suggest doing that because, you know, there's a lot of hair strands sometimes. Do my horns look cute? I hope so, because that's when I look at them, I'm like, oh, they're so adorable. They look like crowns. And that's nice. I've never seen like other people do that. When I was doing my I didn't do that much research when making my model. I can't even describe how it was. I remember so little of the process besides just like the very start of it, because I was like, my brain just kept going. I wasn't like even thinking. I was just making something. And I'm like, wow. At like that age, I was like, this is my magnum opus. I'm like, really? I mean, in a way, it's still my pride and joy all these years later, and I can't really say the same for other art pieces that I have. So, It means a lot to me. Another thing I felt like I just had to do was everything every other VTuber was doing, because I thought, okay, that's what gets them some success. Let's do it. Let's do that. Did I actually want to do it? No. I wanted to hop on trends because that seemed easy enough, but I just did not want to put in the effort for that, which, thinking about it now, is probably just my brain subconsciously telling me, that ain't you. You don't actually want to do that. You'd hate to be perceived that way, so please stop. So thanks, brain, for looking out for me. Also, I quickly learned I do not like live streaming. I get very tired quickly, and since I don't talk when I don't have a reason to, or a person isn't talking to me, I remain silent, and when I do start talking a lot, my voice quickly starts to hurt. So being able to edit a video is extremely helpful to making watchable content. I am going against the norm here by making non-live stream content as a VTuber, because that's just like all they do all the time. And the videos that are VTubers like not doing long form content, I'm like, I love you. I love you so much. I love your videos. On top of that, I am reading off of a script. Kind of, not doing it well, but I hope that this sounds okay. I don't care if it doesn't. So here I start working on the other model, the me model. Hopefully it looks like me. If you see the little dot under the eye, that's actually a freckle, not a mole. I am a redhead with like no visible freckles. Like the only way they come out is if I'm very tan, and that takes a lot of effort because you know redheads have a really hard time tanning. So that little speck, that little freckle is my precious little baby because she is the only thing you can see. I was having a lot of difficulty with the hair. Not a big deal, but I'm like, I can't really understand my hair sometimes. I just know that I have like little hoopies, little swooshes in my hair sometime, and if I don't have those swishes, it just, I look like I have a flat head and just a lot of like big old poof of hair, because I have a lot of hair. It is intense, but luckily as recently I finally found some like good shampoo and conditioner that can actually manage it, thank God, because after all these years it's been like I've had to like wait and just hope that I have a good hair day, and now I can like guarantee when and where I'll have one, so that's nice. Oh, and here comes the hardest part of the drawing, the stitching, the individual stitching. I had one part where I could copy and paste it. For the rest of it, none. Absolutely none. And I hated it, and I don't understand stitching. I could have asked my friend, who probably definitely knows something about stitching, but I'm like, nope. Nope, I'm gonna have a lot of questions, and there's a lot of parts of this I'm just going to trust my gut instinct, which is wrong. I know it is for some of the stuff. I took a fashion type class, and I was like expecting it to be like fashion, not we make, this is sewing 101. So I was not that happy about it, but I'm like, okay, this is just, you know, an extra skill. I might actually enjoy it. I'm an artist, and this is also an art medium. Why not? Every single time I did a project, my teacher would be like, no, that's wrong. And I'm like, you just said to make a bag. This is literally a bag. What's wrong about it? She's like, the stitching. I'm like, you can't even see it. The only way you can see it is if you look inside the bag. What's the problem? This is the beginner class, right? We're only high schoolers. Why does it matter? I don't know what kind of beef she had with me. I had a lot of beef with so many teachers, and my dad blamed me for it, for some of them. Oh, but I'm like, I don't try to be that type of student, but man, I just got so annoyed with some of these teachers. I could not help. Like, when do you guys know what's it called when you try to seem, you know, fake, to cover up the fact that you hate somebody or somebody annoys you? I I feel like there's a word for that besides being fake. But I have a hard time doing it. And this is why I say that I suck at lying. I don't know if I'm good at it. And I'm probably not, because I can't keep a straight face. If you're annoying me, it will show on my face. If I hate you, I will show it on my face. I just... Anyways, so my experience with my sewing class was just not the best, and I had a hard time figuring out what is it that I'm doing wrong, and why is she just like, she's telling me I'm doing something wrong, but she's like not teaching me what I'm doing wrong. And that was the struggle. I had to have the other students in that class teach me what I was doing wrong, and even then it was like it was a bit tricky because they're also learning. But I still feel like I learned a lot from that class, but my teacher, she was like, no, here's your grade. Your really bad grade. I'm like, what do you mean? I feel like this is just a class where you should just, you put in effort, you do the task, you get the A. Not a, you make this amazing thing, it looks awesome, you do everything 100% correct, then you get the A. This is high school. High school. Oh, I'm so glad I graduated. These stitches gave me one heck of a time. And I will not shut up about it because they need to be seen. They need to be loved. Because when I zoom out, I can barely see them. It's just, I can't deal with it. I hope they're appreciated. I really do. So in this section, you might have been able to notice kind of what I'm doing with like the logo on her chest and like the stream going down from her shirt to her leg. It's kind of like a shooting star, but like in the middle of that stuff, it's gonna like kind of pour out into like a galaxy type look to it. So it fades, and you'll see it when I start coloring it. It fades into like the same blue that's on her pants for her kaiju form. So it's like, she's fading into her human form, she's fading into her kaiju form, something like that. Because when you have like a secret identity, you don't want people to know what, you don't want like something that's so similar to this and that, but you want people to know at the same time they kind of have like, they are kind of like connected, like how Clark Kent looks like Superman just with like this hair swoopy thingy. And my thing is the colors and her themes with, yeah, the stitching. I did it wrong, as you can see right there. Luckily I could move it easily. Anyways, so it's space themed still. The like little heart planet. I don't know if I want to call it something or give it like a name or whatever, but I think the logo looks cute, and that's, you know, what you're going for when you make a VTuber. You gotta make something stand out. I don't know if actual race car drivers have logos like this, but they should. I was also thinking about, like, if I got like a sponsorship in like the far future, if I like added like a patch of their logo like on like my sleeve or something. Wouldn't that be nice? Because that's what I know, what that's what they do. They, on their suit, the race car drivers, and on their car, they have logos of their sponsors, whatnot. And, you know, it's just thought that was unique. The other thing that connects her human form to her kaiju form is her number. So for here it's just 606, not 106, which is oh, I don't even think I had something that was showing that 106 was her number. Yeah, so when I get to the coloring part, I will show that her kaiju form is her number is supposed to be 106, but I won't tell you why that's for until the next video when we discuss the lore. Wow, I just rhymed. But why do I even want to use a model in the first place? Just because I want to. I don't have to. I'm not forcing myself to. I could just be your average faceless YouTuber, and I have for like all my past videos, so I could just chill like that, and I've been fine with it. Heck, I rarely watch VTubers myself, but that's mostly for the fact that I rarely watch live content, which, as I said, that's all I do. I'm not going against the grain on purpose to get anything out of it. I'm doing it because I need to, mentally, if that makes any sense. I'm just trying to validate myself here, and I hope everybody can understand that. I want to be a little open about why that is, just for a bit of context. In my tween and young teen years, I had a lot of bad experiences with portraying an online persona that wasn't myself, and being that young, you're stupid and don't know how to set boundaries. So stupid shit happened. I like having an online presence regardless of my past experiences, but I keep a hard wall between me and everyone I interact with online, so I hope you can respect that. Please and thank you. So to sum it up, I'm making a model because of some growth in my opinions and my personal wants and needs and skills that I've been acquiring and learning as of late. So that's why I've been making this new VTuber model, and my hand doesn't hurt as much as I thought it does. I don't know English, but I think It looks good. It's going great. My only concern is just the rigging part, because that part scares me. Wish me luck. I need to talk about my model concept, because till this day is my favorite design I've ever made. If there's one thing I'll give myself credit of being good at, it's knowing and making a good character design. I can be bad at all my hobbies and interests, but this is the one thing I know that I'm stellar at, and if you say otherwise, I'm ignoring you. You're lying. I'm kidding. I can take some criticism, but this is just, it's something that makes me happy that I'm able to do, and like I can see if there's an issue later on. I'm just really attached to her, and I don't think that attachment's ever going away, because I've been doing this. I've had her for a very long time, and I'm going to go a little trip on memory road and explain a little bit of that to you. So, in the beginning, so at least 6 years back, I think, I'm not so sure about the timeline, I'm really not, I became Whammy, my name. I was like, okay, I finally made an original online name that I adore. I am never changing it, and I never will. Then I discovered VTubers about 2-ish years later. So there's Kisunu Ai, and I saw Pekoda. What's her name? I know she's like Sakura, but like, what's her actual? Sakura Miko? Because it's not Miku. I'm not so sure, but I knew the Japanese VTubers before knowing the American ones, because there was like, I don't know, like 5. One day I'll be able to do that. But first, I need to make a persona. So the question became, what should I look like? I put my favorite things together, which is Neon Genesis at the time, came to mind. So I knew I had to have a plug suit. Yeah, so that's why she has one. And Godzilla and Pacific Rim reminded me of how much I like kaiju. So what if I was like this kaiju person thingy? I didn't have any lore in mind, so I was just going based off personal interest. But then I needed a final touch, the face, which I did not know what I was gonna do for that, because I did have the knowledge that I needed to make the face very appealing and have features special in that like top area, because I knew she would eventually become a VTuber once I got like all the shtick. So your girl was thinking ahead, big brainin'. So the last final touches came out of my favorite manga, which is Kaiju Girl Caramelize. It's so unpopular, and I hate that, because I need everyone to talk about it. It has 7 volumes, and of course I have all of them. The character designs are so pretty, the story is simple but so enjoyable, the art style is the cutest thing, but I digress. The main character is who I based Whammy's final touches on, her hair and her kaiju features. Unfortunately, it is at the cost of most of her silhouette looking interesting, but I don't think it's the worst it could have been, which is why in this iteration of the model, I'm making her hair a bit more detailed, a bit more, have more strands, whatnot, just to give it some edge. believe it's a bit time we start discussing some lore bits. And I mean bits, not all of it, because I will get very detailed to avoid plot holes, because that's just who I am, because I'm a writer as well. But this model will have 2 forms, 3 outfits. The first being my kaiju form, my typical look, but I will also have a human form. I figured if I'm going to change the lore, I should show its importance with the new model. And the big change is her living as a human in human society, posing as a regular old person with a unique brain. I've had this idea for a while, and even if it isn't convenient for like the most standard YouTubers, I don't really care. I just want to show that I can have multiple sides to myself. I'm not one thing, which is, you know, what people normally are. They're not happy-go-lucky all the time, which is fine. I can be mean. I can be funny. I can be shy. I can be so shy. I can be sweet. I can be annoying. Sorry. I am a person just like everybody else, and I won't force myself into a box because that's what I hate the most. Nobody should always have to remain a singular identity, and that's what I feel like a lot of YouTubers are stuck doing, especially the ones in agencies, which is why I will never be in an agency. Sorry, Niji Sanji, if you wanted me. I'm kidding. So her human form is in the image of myself. So it looks absolutely almost nothing like, except for like the body model. I tried to remain at least similar to what I look like. So long legs. I'm skinny as heck, man. I cannot put on weight. Nothing's too outlandish. So at least when it comes to secret identities, I'm doing it pretty well, since her kaiju form looks so different from me, minus the body. That's what I'm trying to get across here. Thank you. The only aspect that makes her quite a bit different from me is the fact that she has a much cooler career than me, which is as a race car driver. Now, I know nothing about cars, but one thing I do know is that I'm good at driving and I love to go fast. I don't have any connections to the racing industry, and I don't even think that I'd actually be like good at that type of sport. It's just kind of like a dead dream that I'll live out through my VTuber. So she has the life of a racer and the life of a kaiju superhero. And who is she fighting as a kaiju, might you ask? Other kaijus, such as herself, but they aren't the good guys. I kept this in from the original lore, and you probably wouldn't know that because I did delete my debut video because I looking back at it, I'm just like, oh my god, who is that? There was a failed attempt at traveling through a wormhole due to Whammy being on board the enemy ship. She drew them off their course and landed on Earth. She didn't mean to land on a habitable planet. She meant to destroy everything and everyone on that ship. But things didn't go to plan, obviously, and I'll go more extensively into the lore in the next videos. This is just the basics, okay? Then there's the outfit, the cowboy outfit. This is entirely an outfit that I own. Besides the pants, I still can't find black pants that match. I'm very anti-different color of the same color, which should not be worn together. And all these black pants I have way too much gray in it, so it's like I can't put these things together. Anywho, the outfit will hopefully work with both my human and kaiju form if things fit nicely together in the rigging process, which they should, but I can't help be worried because any and all problems can occur when you start the rigging, and I'm expecting all of them, every single one of them. I'm so nervous. Yes, I made the tassels individual tassels so I could rig them individually. I am insane. Let's just get the record straight. I really do hope that I can get the goodie out of this model, and that by the end of it I'll actually enjoy it and use it. Stay tuned for the next video, coloring, which will take much longer and much harder to upload. I may end up breaking it into 3 different parts for the kaiju form, the racer form, suit, whatever, and the cowboy outfit. So thank you for your patience and thank you for watching. And since I did get Navia, I will be posting a account tour video. I'm super excited for that. And I kind of want to make it ASMR because when I watch those videos, I end up watching the ASMR ones more than the actual ones. So stay tuned for that too. Again, thank you. Bye.